And for our lesson 2, we have the coplanar and concurrent force systems. The coplanar forces have all the forces acting in one plane. They may be concurrent, parallel, non-concurrent, or non-parallel. All of these systems can be resolved by using graphic statics, or algebra. The resultant force is the force that alone produces the same acceleration as all of those forces. Our concurrent forces is a set of points which is considered concurrent if all the lines of action of those forces all come together at a single point. Here is a given example or problem that we can solve that says, determine the component of each forces, the resultant of the entire system, and the angle of inclination with respect to x-axis. As you can see, our x and y axis has all these forces, which is 150 pounds pointing upward to the left with 2 and 3 slope, and 300 pounds pointing upward to the right with an angle of 30 degrees. And lastly, the 250 pounds pointing downward to the right with an angle of 20 degrees. To solve this problem, here's a formula of resultant, which is equals to square root of r squared plus ry squared, and the formula of angle is tangent raised to -1 times ry over rx. For force 150 pounds, we have to solve first the hypotenuse of 2 and 3, which is square root of 2 squared plus 3 squared is equals to 13, is equals to square root of 13. So for our fx, we have negative 150 times 3 over square root of 13. It is negative since it is pointing to the left. And 3 is our x, and square root of 13 is the hypotenuse. So fx is equals to negative 124.808 pounds. And our fy is 150 positive since it is upward, and 2 is our y, and square root of over square root of 13. So the answer is 83.205 pounds. For our force 300 pounds, we have, it is pointing upward to the right with a degrees of 30 angle, with the angle of 30 degrees. Then our fx is 300 cosine 30 since it is the side of x. So it is positive also because it is to the right. Then the answer is 259.808 pounds. Our fy is 300 sine 30. It is positive since it is upward. So the answer is 150 pounds. And lastly, for our 250 pounds, with pointing downward to the right and with an angle of 20 degrees, our fx is 250 sine 20 since it is sine because it's in the side of y-axis. So the answer is 85.505 pounds. And our fy is negative since the y is pointing downwards. So 250 cosine 20, the answer is negative 234.923 pounds. The summation of forces. Our Rx is, you have to add all the Fx, which is the negative 124.808, the 259.808 plus 85.505. Rx is equals to 220.505. And for our Ry, it is 83. You have to combine all the Fy, which is 83.205 plus 150 and minus 234.923. It is minus since it is negative. So our Ry is negative 1.718. And for solving for resultant, we have the formula R is equals to square root of R squared plus Ry squared. So 220, our Rx, 220.505 squared plus our Ry, 1.718 squared. So the answer is 220.512 pounds. For solving for angle, we have the tangent raised to negative 1 times Ry over Rx. So we have the tangent raised to negative 1 times our Ry, negative 1.718 over our Rx, 220.505 is equals to 0.446.